This is Occupier Kayling coming to you live from the Iowa Children's Board headquarters. We have nearly a packed house. A couple of seats to our left still open. The Iowa Utilities Board may come out with its backup pipeline ruling this afternoon. They may, right after they go into open session, they may do something else. I'm not sure. There's a lot more media here because the ruling is expected. So, there's a lot of stakeholders here, landowners, other concerned citizens, representatives of environmental groups. So we wait for them to come in. There are speakers up in the ceiling, so you may pick up off of those speakers. You're probably under one right now.
That's not real crazy about this side.
There's a couple of spots left, so you get them.
Thanks, Kaylin. Hi, how are you? Yeah, likewise.
Oh, I was going to shake your hand, but it's wrong hand.
Half right. They let anybody in here.
Yeah, they even let those guys in brown in.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Who's Mark? Hey, Mark. Keep an eye on this guy right here, right?
Yes, yes. I think I.
Here,
But he has not on a. He can talk about a lot. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. What are the dates of that again?
Second to
I should make a sign to make that work.
We're going to do a carpool. Gary, I've already booked the train, but I told you that Prius is cheaper.
Yeah.
And less carbon footprint. It's got 4 people in it.
Well, let me know.
Part of it is what happens. A lot. So I have to find somebody to take care of that. Which I think I do, but still. I miss my plants.
Yeah.
I should have brought you some egg cartons for your girls.
Oh gosh, no need for that. You know,
You got plenty?
I have so many, I don't know what to do with them all. I have to find some other use for them.
Well, you can always share them with other chick servants.
Chick servants?
Yeah.
Is that what we call egg producers?
Well, my word.
Yeah, it's a good word.
Well, I call myself a cat slave.
Cat slave? Yeah, anybody who owns a cat is basically a slave to that cat.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Cat is a slave to that cat.
But I,
I have a next door cat. It's like 20 years old. Single guy comes from your house, comes and sits on a chair on my porch and meows at me when it's time to eat.
That's pretty good for a cat, that old.
Good afternoon. The Iowa Utilities Board is now in session in docket number HLP 2014-0001. Dated March 10th. The time is 1 o'clock. My name is Jerry Fuser, and with me today are board members Libby Jacobs and board member Nick Wagner. For the information of the public, the docket in this case was opened on October 29th, 2014, setting the authority for Dakota Access, the petitioner, to hold public informational meetings as required by Iowa Code. Those meetings occurred in each of the 18 counties that the pipeline is proposed to cross on or about October, November, and December of 2014. Pursuant to Iowa law, the petitioner, upon completing the informational meetings, filed a petition for the hazardous liquid pipeline permit with the Iowa Utilities Board on January 20th, 2015. The permit seeks to construct approximately 346 miles of 30-inch diameter crude oil pipeline through Iowa as part of a 1,168-mile project to carry oil from the Bakken oil fields to an oil transfer station or hub near Patoka, Illinois. The Iowa Utilities Board in June of 2015 authorized intervention and other filing dates through an order establishing a procedural schedule. 38 parties petitioned for intervention in August of 2015, and 5 late filed interventions were accepted in October and November, for a total of 44 parties, which includes the petitioner. On September 16, 2015, the board took official notice pursuant to Iowa law of a staff report indicating that Exhibit H was in final form, and the board issued an order setting a hearing in this matter. On Thursday, November 12th, the hearing was convened in Boone County, and over 200 individuals provided public comment. The first day of the evidentiary hearing was convened on Monday, November 16th. The hearing included public comments, went for 12 days. This included 68 witnesses who all testified. These 11 days were transcribed, and copies remain available for review in the Record Center and consist of 12 public books and 3 confidential, or just over 3,500 pages of transcript. There were 22 initial briefs and 13 reply briefs filed on or about January 19th and February 2nd and 3rd, 2016. The board held 5 days of open deliberations, and on February 19th, 2016, the board directed General Counsel to prepare a draft order for the board's consideration based upon our deliberations in this case. In addition, the board has received over 8,000 public comments on this docket, all of which were included in the evidentiary record. The board continues to receive comments, although the evidentiary record is closed. The board, in anticipation of a vote on this order, which consists of 175 pages, has made a limited number of copies available, which will be in the lobby upon conclusion of the board meeting. In addition, a link to the order will be available on the website and available to you on our press release. We have each had an opportunity to review the order drafted by General Counsel and legal staff, and we are ready to proceed with a vote on the order. Ms. Jacobs, do you have any comments?
I do, thank you, Madam Chair. I think just for the benefit of those in the audience, as we all individually and collectively spent thoughtful deliberation time on this matter, I think the order that is before us indicates how we approach the issues. We weighed the public benefits of the proposed hazardous liquid pipeline project against the public and private costs and other detriments as established by the evidence on the record. Then together we weighed all of the issues presented by the parties and found the issues of safety, economic benefits, environmental factors, and landowners' rights to merit the most significant weight in reaching our decision. While we focused on those four as being the most significant,
we did take into consideration every factor that was presented to us on the record, and also thoughtfully consider our statutory obligations in creating this order.
Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would again reiterate that throughout our deliberations, we reviewed all the factors and issues that were presented before us in this case, and we find that subject to terms and conditions that are set forth in the order, that the proposed pipeline will promote the public convenience and necessity. Pursuant to Iowa Code Section 479B.9, a permit should be granted and issued to Dakota Access only after the company has complied with the requirements set forth in the order. These additional terms and conditions address our concerns regarding landowner rights, land restoration, and environmental impacts. And at this time, I would move to approve the order as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, are there any other issues becoming before the Iowa Utilities Board today?
Well,
Seeing none, ma'am, this is not a time. Seeing no other issues, the utility board adjourns at 1:10.
This issue is not over.
Shameful.
The rights of Iowans have not been protected, and we are not stopping the fight. I'm an Iowan and I vote no. This is not over. I'm an Iowan and I vote no. We will stop this pipeline. I'm an Iowan and I vote no. And I vote with water and the future generations with climate. I'm an Iowan and I vote no to this agreement.
What people are doing, they are voicing their objection to ruling, and then they are walking out.
I'm an Iowan and I vote no, and Earth will tend to whatever needs to be done.
I'm an Iowan and I vote no. This is not over. I'm an Iowan and I vote no.
I'm an Iowan and I vote no.
I'm an Iowan and I vote no. I'm an Iowan and I vote no. I'm an Iowan and I vote no.
The board has left, people are still here.
This is our country. We belong to you too. So I'm glad to be here, and I wear my war bonnet, but they walked out. So we were out there, and then all of a sudden, all of them,
He was kind of hard to hear, but I can't get closer to him.
Thank you.
I'm an Iowan and I vote no. We will continue the fight and stop this pipeline.
I'm an Iowan and I vote no. This would be horrible for Iowa. I vote no for Iowa. I'm an Iowan and I vote no. We stand with the earth. We stand with future generations. We stand with water. We stand against this decision.
Looks pretty overwhelming to me.
Dave, I gotta get going.
All right, folks want to join us outside. We're going to do a press conference. We're going to let people talk about how they're feeling right now. We'll be right outside the front door. Stick around and some happen.
I will keep live. Everybody moves outside.
Yeah. I gotta get this on. What do you think?
I'm just gonna move this one second down here.
And then off the record.
There's a cheat button you can bang.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, keep the door open. Looks like.
Sorry, did I get you? Oh, I'm sorry.
I hit.
Sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah, hit the cheat button. As long as you didn't damage the door.
As long as I'm not bleeding, I think I'm okay. But he literally just slammed my face and my head hit the door jam.
We need a building
Yeah.
So where we?
I say get in the sun. Whatever.
Yeah, but you don't want to
No,
stand such a way that we'll get the sun in our lenses.
you know, I'm sun starved here.
Oh yeah, this is good. This will work.
So this is.
I'm sorry, that's on my blind side.
Have to get a picture of my armband.
So it's 175.
Oh yeah.
All right, folks, so that decision was a little bit quicker than we anticipated, but that's okay, right?
Right.
Okay, so, because it was so quick, I think I heard something. How did you all vote? No! Right, okay. So, we've got a plan to move forward. We anticipated this decision today. It's not going to stop us 1 second. We vote no. We are Iowans, and this is not a done deal.
This is not a done deal.
To tell us about how we're moving forward legally, we've got Wally Taylor from the Sierra Club. Wally.
I haven't read this yet.
It says that climate change is irrelevant in there. What are things to say?
The board has to find that this pipeline promotes public convenience and necessity. As they said in there, they admitted that means the benefits would outweigh the cost and the risks. It certainly does not. And the next step is to appeal this decision to district court and argue that all of the points in terms of the environmental damage, the lack of any good plan to clean up or prevent spills that would alter agricultural land for many years is not there. The oil will be exported. There's no guarantee that oil is going to be used in the United States, let alone in Iowa. And with the lifting of the ban on oil exports that Congress passed last December, there's no reason that the oil itself can't be exported now to foreign countries.
That ain't right.
That's not right.
So all of these issues will be
behind you,
presented
so if
to
you
the
lean backwards,
district
I'll
court,
catch
and we plan to argue to the court that the board overstepped its judgment here. It was arbitrary and capricious in granting this permit.
That's right.
Right.
And we also have the Corps of Engineers that still has not spoken. They have to authorize the crossing of the many water bodies this pipeline will cross. and they're nowhere near to issuing those authorizations. So those are all the legal process we have going forward, so this is not over.
Thank you, Wally.
Thank you,
Okay,
Wally.
we'll take questions in just a second, but next we want to ask Pam Alexander from Wapello County to speak. Pam is a landowner who lives in the pipeline's path. Pam? Give us your name first.
Pam Alexander.
P-A-M?
P-A-M. It's been in our family for at least 4 generations, and I'm really disappointed that they didn't stay right to this. I think it's going to be detrimental to this whole state, our land, our water, if this thing leaks. I have no confidence in Dakota Access being able to build this and take care of this pipeline. And these easements they want for the rest of our lives and our children's lives, and it's just not right.
That ain't right!
It's not right to get you emotional talking about it.
Well, it is. I mean, our land, so many farmers, their land's not for sale. It's something that's handed down generation to generation. And for them to call it voluntary easements is really wrong, because so many of these farmers don't want the pipeline, but they feel economically they have to sign and get the best deal they can because, well, it's a done deal. They think. But I just can't see signing an easement that gives them a lifetime, generations access to our farm, and even the access easement is for our whole farm, not just the easement. And that's not right.
Is the issue going to focus on the eminent domain that the board granted to this private company?
Well, you know, that was my first inclination when I got my letter the first time. I thought it's not right to give them eminent domain. But the more I learn about fracking and the oil, the leaks, the spills, the things they told us aren't true about rail and trucks being not used, because they just said they were going to up the production of it. And it's not probably going to stay in this country because they lifted the 40-euro ban, and I'm sure Big Oil had a lot to do with that. So I think we've just been fed a bunch of crock, and they bought it.
How long can you keep the fight going? I mean, pocketbooks have to stand eventually.
They do, and I don't own this land solely by myself, so it'll have to be a family decision for us.
okay.
And I know others are truly dedicated to this, and I'll try to do what's in the best interest of our family.
I know you said you're disappointed by the decision, but how surprised are you guys, the board? I guess we were all saying the board made that decision within a couple of minutes, it seems like.
Well, yeah, kind of disappointed. I hadn't given enough hope yet. But the first letter they sent us, they already told us they were buying material, they bought things in, they've been telling landowners it's a done deal, giving them no choice. Nobody stood up to the landowners or giving us information, even for these hearings. We went online and stuff to know about these hearings. You don't know about them. I talked to a farmer when they have 4-day hearings here. They didn't even know about them. They didn't contact landowners and let us know what's going on or anything. So I really feel like landowners were given the shaft, and I urge every landowner, whether you're involved in this or not, you need to speak up now, because next time Big Money wants something of yours, they're going to take it.
That's right. That's right.
Pam, can you talk about how the decision violates Iowa code?
Oh, yeah. Well, as I read, Iowa code says that they cannot use eminent domain for agricultural land. It's agricultural land, and they just gave them eminent domain. So I don't understand. They keep saying Iowa code this and Iowa code that. They didn't follow Iowa code when contacting landowners. They didn't follow Iowa code when they wanted to survey our land. They called to appraise our land before they were ever given an eminent domain. And when I told them I didn't want them on our land, they said, that's fine, we'll appraise it from the road. And I told them I wanted to wait till eminent domain, and then I wanted to go with it. And they said, no, it's going to be done, because Dakota Access wants it done as soon as possible.
That's not right. That's about right. So we will take some follow-up questions, but we've got one more prepared speaker, Carolyn Raffensperger from the Science and Environmental Health Network. Carolyn.
So my name is Carolyn, C-A-R-O-L-Y-N, Raffensperger, R-A, F as in Frank, E-N, S as in Sam, P as in Peter, E-R-G-E-R. And my organization is Science and Environmental Health Network, and we were one of the interveners, and we intervened on behalf of future generations. The first time in this country that in an administrative proceeding, future generations were represented. And the reason we did that is because your great-grandchildren had no voice in this decision. And we wanted to speak for their right to inherit clean air and clean water, a stable climate. And we believe that the benefits of this pipeline are very short term. And no one was looking out for the longer term interests of the great-grandchildren who live here in Iowa. Iowa is defined by our rivers. Our state constitution starts out by naming those precious rivers. And now we will be crossing them with this hazardous liquid pipeline. That is what it is called. That was the proceeding here. And now we have given some sort of yes on the part of 3 members of the Iowa Utility Board have said yes to the possibility of polluting our waters, your great-grandchildren's waters, and to destabilizing the climate. That's why this coalition, the Back-End Pipeline Resistance Coalition, gathered together to say no to this pipeline. We joined with landowners because when you take private property, ostensibly for the public good, but when it threatens both private property and the public good, then you know that eminent domain should not be granted.
That's right.
Right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for bearing witness to what we're doing. Media has an important role in bearing witness to something as difficult and tragic as this. So we will begin both a mourning process now, but we will not stop our resistance. We will not stop doing everything in our legal power to block something that threatens your children and your grandchildren, the land and the water.
What are you going to do for mourning, for resistance?
I think that you've heard that there are plans for some lawsuits. I think that there are several that are planned. I think that we are looking at all ways of expressing our voice at joining forces. So stay tuned. This story is not over. We have not got a pipeline in the ground yet, and we are going to do everything in our power to keep that pipeline from crossing the heartland. The heartland should carry clean water. It should not carry filthy oil.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
They've already screened them out before the decision was made. Do you feel like those against the pipeline, like yourselves, were even given a fair shot to voice your opinions to the board when some of the materials were already laid out?
Well, you know, the process is not
refers
designed
to
to give
the pipe
the public a
that has
voice.
been stockpiled
You know,
in
this is a
Jasper
complex
County,
process where
which is where
3
the city of Newton
appointed
is.
board members had the power to grant eminent domain. That's a remarkable power. You know, I think that it requires us to go back and look at how decisions like this are actually made. Because when you get an outcome like this that clearly favors short-term economic gain over the private property rights and over the public good, then I think we've got a fatally flawed decision-making process.
Right.
Yeah.
They're unelected. They're unelected.
They're unelected.
No oil in our soil! No oil in our soil! No oil in our soil! No oil in our soil!
Chanting no oil in our soil.
No oil in our soil! 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 No oil in our soil!
Talk about the public needs necessity in other contexts, but this is unprecedented for Iowa, this kind of a project. But certainly the environmental issues, I think, we're not covering at all.
You mentioned your lawsuit you were talking about linking up with the one in Cherokee, or would these be separate filings?
Well, actually, the Cherokee lawsuit kind of folded into this, because what the Cherokee court said was, you need to go back and exhaust your administrative remedies, which means the Iowa Utility Board. That's what they did.
Yeah, Bakken Pipeline Resistance Coalition. That's what it is.
Thank you. It's a bit wordy.
Resistance Coalition, Bakken Pipeline Resistance
Coalition.
And it's WALLYTAYLOR. Thank you.
I imagine there's many of you that are upset about this and want to share your feelings and thoughts. If you want to join me over here. Looks like Jack.
Another question: What do you think of the way that they applied statutes from other things, like things that are not related to oil? How do you feel about that? What's your take on that?
Well, as I say, I haven't really had a chance to study this, but sometimes
look at me.
you can get
I also feel
a
that
precedent
if I'm
from
an
something that
Indian
isn't
land,
exactly like this situation. But on the other hand, if there's an important issue that does depend on the factual context, then it's not a good precedent. So
it doesn't.
That's kind of a lawyer's convoluted answer.
Yeah, well, it fits because from what I heard, because I've been covering these deliberations, that I could not hear anything in the code that was cited that even comes close to an oil pipeline.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No compromises, no exceptions. Earth lives, but Earth hates. It's time for us, as humans, to realize that it is not us that dominates this planet, it is Earth herself. In short, Earth first in things, thoughts, deeds, decisions.
Right. Go, Jack! Anyone else want to come share their feelings?
So my name is Ross Booters. I'm going to go here real quick and just say I've been involved in this from the beginning, and it amazes me that we're allowing a 3-person board that's not even elected. It's appointed.
That's right.
By our governor, who has ties to big oil.
Someone just honked as they're driving,
Our
so they're
governor
in
is
support of
friends
this little
with Rick
protest.
Perry, who is on the board of directors for the company that wants to build this
Former
in our
Governor
state.
Rick Perry, who once ran for president.
Private company being allowed to do something for their gain, not for the gain of Iowans. And they're doing so through an unelected board. That's not legitimate, and we are not going to stop. We are going to keep fighting this because that's not democratic. What's democratic is this out here and the people that are saying no to this on their land and will continue to say no to this on their land.
That's right.
Who else wants to talk about this?
Don't pull the trigger, just go.
Terry Stewart, Dubuque, Iowa, lifelong union member and a lifelong environmentalist. And there's no way on earth that we should trade a few well-paying jobs for a short period of time for a risk of destroying the entire future of part of Iowa.
That's right.
This pipeline isn't going to be long-time jobs. This pipeline isn't going to be any benefit to the Iowans in general. This pipeline isn't even going to be any benefit to oil usage in Iowa. Not that it should be, because we should be leaving fossil fuels anyway. But to create an avenue for fossil fuels to run over private ownership in order to cross our lands without benefit to us, in order to be sold to some other country, is absolute insanity. And our government should not be serving the purposes of private industry to roll over private land ownership in Iowa.
That's it. Yeah.
Don't have to turn it
Okay, don't have to turn it off. My name is Rodlyn Harrington, and I'm just a mother.
Hold it close.
You gotta eat the thing.
I'm just a mother, but I know that this is wrong. This is wrong. We're spoiling the land. We're making choices. People are making choices for our children. This land does not belong to anyone. It belongs to all of us. All of us. We are here for but a short time. That pipeline will be a legacy that we will live to regret if we do not stop it.
That's right.
It is going to poison the land. Look at the storms that we're having that are so destructive right now. Do you think that that's not going to happen and break this pipeline? Do you really think that these storms are going to get less and less? Oh, I'm sorry, are we still in denial? Global warming isn't real? I mean, come on, you guys. This is for our children. If we can't stand up for our children right now, then we're worthless. We're worthless if we say yes to this pipeline.
That's right. Woo!
Good job. You're just a mom. You're
Who's next here? Anybody else feeling as passionate and emotional and really upset about this poor decision? All right, Brenda Brink.
Go, Brenda. Go.
She can't leave this alone.
There's a reason we're here today, and we're standing up for Iowa. Where is the governor? Where is the governor?
On the wrong side.
He is on the wrong side. It's time that he stood up for people in Iowa. We are here, we are the constituents, we are the ones that are going to be left with the mess. This is a boondoggle. You know it in your hearts. This is a boondoggle. This is going to be a mess. And we're here to say we're not going to stand for it. Okay, he may have gotten elected, but none of those people in there got elected. Right. And we're here to say, do what's right for the people of Iowa.
Right.
Yes.
All right, the fight has just begun.
That's right.
Okay.
April?
Sure.
Go for it. Brain dead.
Speak right into it. All right. The thing that really disturbs me about this document is I flipped through it, and there's a section on the environmental impacts, and there's a section on remediation. The section on remediation refers to a $25 million insurance policy that Dakota Access carries. I don't know if you're aware of the Mayflower spill of the Pegasus pipeline in 2013. Lawsuits to litigate liability are still ongoing 3 years later, and the bill is close to $60 million for a mere 200,000 gallons of crude. The back-end pipeline is 6 times that large. It is a mega pipeline. It could easily spill 1 million gallons of oil in a single hour if left unchecked. It ain't right. It ain't right at all. And the cost of cleaning up 1 million gallons of oil will far exceed any insurance policy that the Dakota Access Company has at this time. And considering their current financial status, the likelihood of them being able to cover the liability of a 1 million gallon oil spill is increasingly low. So I oppose this. This is not over. We're going to our counties. We're going to the federal government. We're going to stop this. This cannot go into Iowa soil and under Iowa rivers. Thank you.
Thanks, April. Yeah, I don't think Dakota Access plans on being around if there's a spill. They plan on leaving town long before that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody here, my name's Sherry Hawk. Everybody here knows that Iowa's water is already polluted.
Yep.
To the extent that we have to close down beaches.
That ain't right.
And start a nitrate removal system here in Des Moines. And Iowans are going to pay the price, just like we're paying the price now for our polluted waterways. And this pipeline will only add to the pollution, and no pipeline is exempt from breakage, from leaking, from causing extreme damage to our environment. We can't let this happen. Thank you.
That's right. Who's next here? I know there's more people upset about this. Anybody else want to share their thoughts and feelings?
Anyone in the back?
It's understandable that people are upset about hearing this decision today, but don't want to speak.
My name is Jess Mazur, lifelong resident of Iowa, and I am so disappointed in what the IUB just did.
That's right.
They're destroying the future generations, my future kids' lives. They're destroying our water quality, all because they want oil.
That ain't right.
Private. You know what I want? You know what's going to be good for my children? Is if we invest in wind energy. That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Imagine the kind of jobs we can create if we actually think about what the impact is to our future generations.
That's right.
We need to keep the oil in the soil, and we need to let IUB know that this fight is not over. We will win.
That's right.
All right. All right, so that's a great point, Jess. We know that we can have more jobs with clean energy, with renewable energy for our future. 80,000 jobs that doubling down on wind and solar would make here in Iowa. That's the kind of future we want, right? All right. So yes, the IUB has made their decision today. We have to wrap our heads around what the conditions in this permit are, and once we do, we're going to be better armed to fight this thing, because this is just the first decision. The Army Corps of Engineers still has a decision to make. DNR has a decision to make.
DNR is
Landowners
Department of
can fight
Natural
this tooth and nail through the eminent domain process.
This is just the first decision. We're going to fight it every step of the way, right?
Yeah. And it may even include civil disobedience, so I will fully expect that to happen.
Good job today, and stay tuned for the next steps in the fight.
Not done! We're 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 not done!
All right.
We're not done!
Can we get a group picture too, real quick? We want to get a picture with all the shirts.
Can we gather around right here, please?
Yeah.
I'll post some more pictures later.
We gotta pack in tight. Tighter than that.
Yeah, some can, if they can get up on that platform behind them, some can stand on that.
Yeah.
Someone who said, watch my cell phone, said it here, and one of the speakers left his cell phone on the bench.
Hey, no blocking people. Let's get a picture. Can we squeeze in a little tighter at the end here, guys?
Yeah.
Please? All right, I'm gonna.
You want to move this way?
Behind these tall people.
All right, almost. Carry your nut in it. You gotta hop down. I know you're tall, but you maybe squeeze on there. Just come to this.
Oh, no. Here. I don't know if I'm can squat down either.
Perfect. All right, no blocking on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No blocking!
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Do you think that there may be, as a result of if all the approvals are done, do you think there may be actual civil disobedience that may take place during construction?
I don't think anything's off the table.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened with KXL that there are some awesome civil disobedience actions. So
yeah, I don't think anything's off the table.
well, if there is, you know, I think the more people that do it, the better.
Sure.
And I would love to be out there to cover it, so or do it myself, you know, if I could.
Excuse me, sweetie.
Sure. There may be civil disobedience.
Thank you, Anson. Likewise. Hey, I just want to affirm ICCI. Guys have been seriously.
We all appreciate that.
Yeah, we wouldn't have without you. So, and Nathan was so great. And you know, the things that I noticed when just volunteered stuff, no fuss, no muss. And I actually think that the coalition themselves, especially the foundation organizations that are doing stuff. So, anyway, I want you to know I appreciate it. This is why I donated.
Awesome, thank you.
Wally is on the other side of the gentleman with the longer hair. No, that's it. Did he leave already?
He may have had to leave because some people had to left right away soon after. So, as you heard, this is not a done deal. The fight will continue. It will make its way through the courts, and it will make its way through the rest. So 2 more Iowa government entities have to rule. Well, actually 1 Iowa, and the rest federal. The Iowa Department of Natural Resources has to rule on public land under its jurisdiction inside the state where the pipeline would cross, and the Army Corps of Engineers has to rule on the pipeline's path that would take it under the rivers, not only the rivers that border Iowa, separated between the neighboring states, but the rivers inside Iowa, like the Des Moines River. and others, and the lakes. So we have to wait for those rulings to come down, and because the other states along the route have already approved it.
Money?
Looks like all the approval processes in those states have gone through, and Iowa's the last. So we don't know how much longer we have to wait for the DNR or the Army Corps of Engineers to make their decisions. I don't know if they will weigh any of the evidence that Iowa Utilities Board collected, or how they'll do that, or if they'll go solely on what they themselves collected, if anything. So, speaking of the Department of Natural Resources, there is an Environmental Protection Commission meeting next week in Ankeny, that which is a suburb of Des Moines, that I would like to cover. I'll see if I can get a ride over there. I'm not sure what they will be ruling or discussing, at least the polluted waterways and the Department of Natural Resources handling or mishandling of it. So that will start early at 8 o'clock Central Time on the 15th, and I hope to cover that one. I'll just have to get a ride because I don't think I could get a bus to the Ankeny DMAC campus at that time, or whatever. I just want to be sure that I get there in time. So I'm going to see if I can bum a ride from someone who can get me over there. But that one should be good.
Good job, Caitlin. Thanks for being here today.
You're welcome. And is a group going to be going to Ankeny for the
EPC meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if I could score a ride, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
I love scoring.
Talk to Jess, because she's the one.
That's.
Caitlin wants to go to the EPC meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But the bus doesn't go up there. She stopped by the office. What time are you guys supposed to meet up there? 8:30?
8:30, yes.
Do you think you can be at the office by like 8:15?
Yeah.
I'll leave it a little because I want to be able to set up the room because we have it from 8.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
You're going to be okay. Because we have the room from 8 to 9:30, so I was going to get there at 8 to set it up.
Yeah. So just be at the office. You can ride up there with me, Caitlin.
Okay, it's cool. Thanks. I just scored my ride, and so I will be in Ankeny on Tuesday for the Environmental Protection Commission meeting regarding the polluted water in the state and the factory farm contribution to the pollution. So that will be next up, and so stay tuned. The fight for clean water continues, and you can even use hashtag #CleanWaterFight. And the hashtag #NoBackman will still be available because the pipeline fight is nowhere near over. We're just beginning now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the stream.